You become proficient at that, everything else is easy.
Wow.
Just take what's valuable to you and then get rid of the rest. Like don't carry that around with you, because everybody has opinions and not all of them are right.
Yeah.
But know the craft in and out. You know,
Dude, this is amazing. Oh, my God. So
You didn't know what you were getting yourself
no.
into.
Chris Ryall, former publisher, editor-in-chief, creative officer, etc.
And for you,
I'm Cecil B. DeMille.
Ready for his close-up.
dude.
Or the other guy. Anyway, yeah, I'm Sal Buscema, and I have no idea what I'm doing here.
and I'm Guy Dorian Sr. I'm a penciler, writer, creator of characters, all kinds of stuff. I do TV and stuff like that, and all kinds of stuff. Toy designer, all that stuff. I do all kinds of things. But mostly my favorite thing is to work with these two guys anytime.
That's awesome, man.
And ballroom dancing.
You are so light on your feet.
Love that breakdancing.
Yeah.
Breakdancing?
Ballroom breakdancing.
That's awesome.
Breakdancing.
It's a new
We
thing.
just created something new here.
Breaking 4, the movie.
You guys should be comedians. You should do a traveling thing.
Comics isn't working
No,
out. We should get out
man,
and do something
dude.
different.
Well, people do usually laugh at us, though.
All right, so the $1 million question. When did you three first all work together?
Gosh, I think it was a week from last Thursday.
Yeah.
I know, we did something together. Don't
Did
I don't want to
something?
go any further than that.
What happened was, first I had been working with Sal on some of my own creations, and then Chris and I started talking, and then Chris put everything together for Chris, Sal, and I to work together.
Because I'd also worked with Sal in the past on various things at IDW. We had the three of us working together, all came about through the ROM series.
Mr. Sal.
Yes, sir.
So I know you had the longest career here. So what has kept you enduring through the years, through all the ups and downs of the comic
I like
book
to
world?
eat.
You like to eat? Okay. That's a good answer.
And my wife is, she's a taskmaster. She just, every morning, we get up, have breakfast and everything, and she gets the whip out, and she's snapping it at me and said, get down in the studio and make money.
I love it.
For editor material right
Yes, right.
So she's
right.
more like a old school taskmaster, not like
Yeah.
Marvel taskmaster.
No.
No. Oh, okay. All right.
Now, you kidding?
Yeah. Take him for all he's got. All right, that's pretty awesome. So, and I'm curious, sir. So, what would be your advice to anyone trying to be a successful comic book artist that has to deal with rejection or anything?
They should become a plumber.
Plumber. Okay, you hear that? Plumber.
They want to earn a good living. And no, to me, the bottom line is drawing.
Okay.
You have to be able to draw anything from memory. Obviously, you can use reference for technical stuff and so on. But if you can master the human figures, what I've told young aspiring artists for as many times as I've been in contact with them, learn how to draw the human figure. When you become proficient at that, everything else is easy.
Wow.
Because the human figure is the most difficult thing there is to draw.
Mastering the anatomy.
Exactly. And it's not necessary to know all the muscles and bones and so on, but knowing proportions and that kind of thing. John, my older brother, who was a phenomenal talent, was probably the best draftsman in comic books.
Wow.
For his entire career, because he just had a passion for drawing. He loved to draw. And he didn't know one muscle from another.
Really?
No.
He just had raw talent.
He just had, and what he had was a master of the human figure and how to draw it in doing anything. And that's the most important thing. You don't have to know anatomy like pulling it out of an anatomy book. That's for doctors and technicians.
Yes, sir.
But for an artist who's aspiring to do to draw comic books, master the human figure, as I said, and I'm repeating myself here. I
No,
apologize. for
repeat
that.
away.
But once you master that, you can draw anything.
Wow.
Everything else is a piece of cake.
That's awesome.
I'd
Yeah,
say
and
too,
it's true.
start out with your own. You start out emulating the people that you love. So you start
Yeah.
out drawing like Sal or like whoever it is that you're inspired by. But you need to find your own style too, because
Oh, absolutely.
some
yeah.
people sort of cling to their influences too long, and there's already a Sal, so you need to sort of find your own unique individuality.
Find like your signature.
yeah,
You
yeah.
certainly don't want two of me. That's
Was the questions about being a comic book illustrator?
Well,
or-
no, then
What-
dealing with rejection and
Oh, dealing with
It's, like-
rejection. Okay, so you can't work in the industry if you can't. You literally can't work in the
I
industry.
mean, it's entertainment, so you're going to be rejected more than you're accepted.
Right.
and
Yeah.
It's just a part of any creative pursuit. I always tell people, if you're rejected, it's not necessarily about you. It's about what was right for them at the time.
Mm-hmm.
But that doesn't mean what you're doing isn't publishable and isn't good, isn't right for someone else. And then the other thing is too, when you get critiques, you get negative feedback, take what's valuable to you, but reject the rest. Somebody's just giving you their opinion, but if it doesn't help you improve what you're doing, then get rid of it. Don't let it sit in your head. Just sort of, if you keep hearing the same thing from a lot of different people, then address that. If everybody tells you your anatomy's not right or your backgrounds need work, probably a thing to listen to. But just take what's valuable to you and then get rid of the rest. Like don't carry that around with you, because everybody has opinions and not all of them are right.
Yeah. Well said.
Yeah. And, it's pretty much like what Chris said. And it's like, the thing is, here's what happens a lot. A lot of people come in and they can draw really well, but they can't tell a story. Or they can tell a story real well, but they can't draw.
very true. Very true.
Or they can do some things and then they write and color and ink and everything, and their inking is bad, but their illustration is good.
Oh.
You can't do that. You can do all of it. Or you can, if you're going to be a penciler, try to be a penciler. If you're going to be an inker, try to be an inker, but know the craft in and out. When I was talking to Steve Ditko, Steve said that he liked the age. Well, I have to name drop Steve
Yeah,
Ditko.
Steve Ditko, the legend.
I got to spend about 35 to 45 minutes with him at his studio.
That's
Face to
amazing.
face, hanging out.
Oh
Yeah.
my
Like a few
God.
years before he died. Like 2 years before he died.
That's
It was on
amazing.
Jack Kirby's birthday, and I had just left doing an interview. It was me and Jillian Kirby and Neil Kirby were interviewed by one of the comic shops there. And then I went over to Ditko's, and I hung out with Ditko for like 35 minutes. And then I bumped into Evander Holyfield on the way out.
What?
It was hilarious.
Oh my God.
But I mean, it's really
Evander Holyfield took him in 3 rounds. Not
Yeah.
Hey man, if it took Evander 3 rounds to take me down,
I'm impressed. I'm impressed. 3 rounds.
I ran away. That makes a lot more sense. But really, one other thing that I would like to say about it is some people want to draw a comic and they want to get that out of their system. But being an actual professional, a long-standing professional, it's got to be something you always wanted to do or you always wanted to be involved in, because you'll never really stay. With us, we can leave. We're always going to wind up being sucked back in at some point, no matter how many things we do.
me.
Yeah, who's talking? But that's really how it is. So if you don't
Once I'm
feel
out of here, it's all over.
if you don't really feel like that's what you really want to do for, like, no matter how much money you make, I'll take less money, I'll take more money, I'll take whatever my rate is. It depends on the project, and you have to be willing to just want to do it no matter what.
Wow. That's amazing. Wow. This is like the three wise.
He's an amazing guy.
You three. You're like the 3 wise men. This is. I could sit here and listen to you talk forever. This
Wise
is
guys, man.
Yeah.
wise guy. Wow, I really appreciate.
Stooges, whatever.
Oh
Yeah,
no.
I like that better.
Wait, what stooge am I?
This is curly.
I mean,
I'll be curly because I break
the
everything.
hair, but
No, don't give me Shemp. He's trying to take away the originals.
Oh man.
Right, wrong. Brothers,
Dude, this is amazing. Oh my god. So
You didn't know what you were getting yourself
no,
into.
Well,
this
Sal
is
would definitely be Mo for sure.
Yeah.
Knocking the hell out of us. That's without a doubt.
oh, it's awesome, man. Oh, you guys are amazing.
Now tell me I look like him too.
Yeah, right.
Dude, that
All I
ROM
need
is
is the bang,
awesome
right?
too. That is so cool. Man, you blew my mind. So I'm just trying to think what else I want to ask you.
My social security number. You want?
Yeah. I need to buy a yacht. So yeah.
I get a yacht with my social security.
No.
I got a question, man, if I could ask it.
Yes, sir.
So me and Guy were inspired by your work when we were 10. Who was your inspiration when you were 10? Like,
Well, yeah, to a great extent. Yeah, I he was a fantastic talent.
What artist can be better suited to this titanic task than my co-author and good buddy, none other than John Buscema?
Thanks, Dad.
But there were a couple of guys that did syndicated comic strips. Who did Prince Valiant?
Oh, the Hal Foster.
Hal
Yeah,
Foster.
yeah.
Hal Foster is one of my. He was a wonderful draftsman, a wonderful artist. Alex Raymond was another one.
Wow.
Rip
Great.
Alex
Yeah.
Raymond was one of the greatest of all time.
Absolutely tremendous draftsman, and we always emphasize the drawing.
Yes, sir.
It's drawing the human figure, and just drawing as well as you could possibly learn how to draw.
The attention to detail.
And that's nothing that can be taught to you. You have to develop it on your own. People can guide you, they can, put you in the right direction, but you are the one that has to learn how to draw. It has to come from you, and if the talent is there, then you become a John Buscema, not a Sal Buscema, because
He's so
I'm
modest.
still trying to figure out what I'm doing,
the Prince Valiant strips are just mind-blowingly
They are-
impressive. Not only for what they are when you look at them in a book, but when you look at the size they were drawn,
Yeah.
and that he did that every week.
And then,
Like, it's just,
and they didn't have Google.
yeah.
It was all like, cut out
Well,
from
yeah,
magazines.
exactly. And as a matter of fact, I still have a picture file, which I seldom use anymore, but I started that years ago.
You kind of like as a reference point?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
That's
absolutely.
amazing, man.
Yeah. And, it was a big help, but now, all you have to do is go on the internet and you've got anything you want.
Yeah. It's kind of like the internet, lets you cheat a little.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
It is cheating. Right.
So I'm curious, for each one of you gentlemen, do you have a favorite project you liked working on throughout your legacy? A favorite comic book? Or is it hard to...
it's hard to pick because there are things that I like that I did, but I think I like them more because of the people I collaborated with.
Okay.
That the whole draw of working in comics for me is the collaboration. So for me, the things that loom largest aren't necessarily the most well received or the biggest sellers, but it's, me and this artist were so in sync or just had such a good working relationship.
That's
So
awesome.
Zombies vs. Robots for me, anything I did with Gabriel Rodriguez, I've been really lucky with the people I've worked with because I've gotten to kind of handpick them, and so almost to a one, like they all mean a ton to me because of the collaborating on the project more than what the project itself came out like.
That's awesome.
I was the only one that let him down.
Who is your favorite? 'Cause I know you work with some amazing people.
Yeah. Well, my brother
Did you-
was...
You
his drawing was just, he was always the wonder of the industry because of his drawing ability. Matter of fact, if I could just a very quick anecdote. I think it was Todd McFarlane was in an editor's office one day up at Marvel in New York, and some of John's pages came in. He had sent them in for, to be reproduced. And he was looking at the pages and he said, "This guy draws better from memory than I do when I use models."
wow.
That's how good he was.
It's amazing.
He was my idol.
Yeah.
He was my idol.
Was there-
Because I loved the French Impressionists, Michelangelo. Speaking of draftsmen,
Yeah.
mentioning Ryall.
He was almost.
What comics did he do?
Well, actually,
Michelangelo actually started ROM.
they actually his Sistine Chapel was basically a comic.
Yeah,
You know,
it was a
really
gatefold,
was.
if you will.
Even if you
first
look at the
gatefold.
figures and forms,
I don't know if I
they're
did.
both-
I'm not sure I agree with that.
Is it? I mean, is it too hard to pick one comic in particular you enjoyed the most working on, or?
Well, my favorite character of all time was the Incredible Hulk.
Yeah, of
Still
course.
is.
That's
And
awesome.
I love doing the Incredible Hulk. I did it for about 10 years. I enjoyed doing Captain America. I did him for about 5, I think. But the Incredible Hulk was just so different.
Yeah.
It was the Dr. Jekyll, Mr. Hyde
Yes, sir.
thing, whatever you want to call it. And it was just a great character, and I had more fun doing him. I loved drawing the Hulk, jumping and beating people, and smashing,
That's
whatever
a-
he did.
I bet. That's
So-
amazing.
Yeah. Well, I don't know how amazing it is, but you know.
Incredible, more than
I've been-
right.
Yeah,
I've been-
you're incredible,
I've been
man.
I've been faking people out for my entire life.
Don't listen. He's
Especially
amazing.
this lady right here.
Yeah, wonderful wife.
And I proposed to her, and she said yes, and I couldn't believe it. You know, so here we are. We've been married for 61 years. That's what's incredible.
That's excellent.
That's what's incredible.
Wow, she's a real superhero.
Yes, yes. And the woman's staying power is just beyond belief. Yeah, right.
That's awesome.
Because she paid dues. Because I am no day at the beach.
And for you, kind sir, did you have a favorite comic you enjoyed the most?
favorite comic I enjoyed, or person
like
I worked with,
favorite comic book you enjoyed working on the most, or individual,
well,
whatever.
First of all, this guy right here, and this guy, I love these two guys, and working with either one of them. I worked with.
Crazy about it.
Yeah, you're right. I work with a lot of great people, Louise Simonson and
Nice.
and all that, and all these people. But I don't.
But they're not here, so we're
Yeah.
the ones he's talking to.
You gotta butter up.
But
Yeah.
well, you know what
He'd
it.
get all the attention.
Right? No. But you know what it is. You know what it is we all have this. Chris and I are like we have the same. We're on the same wavelength with Rom and everything like that, and with Sal. Working with Sal and Chris is anytime I can is the greatest thing in the world. And seeing Sal send me back inks on my stuff.
Wow.
I carried Sal's comic books with me, rolled them up, and I had them with me no matter what was going on in the street, rough neighborhood, fights, this, that. I would have Sal's stuff stuffed in my back pocket when I'm getting punched in the jaw or something. It didn't matter.
Wow.
And yeah, I would have his work with me and then look at the book right after. If my mom beat my till it was raw, I would go and I'd grab Sal's comics and I'd feel a lot
Should've
better.
kept more comics in the back pocket. Would've protected you.
That, I should have thought about that. But
I had no idea I was involved in all
yeah,
that.
I know. But
His mom's spanking him.
Oh
When you
yeah,
read your comics, he just thinks it's funny.
yeah.
I
But
can understand that.
I would say that I don't have a favorite of any comic or anything. And as far as working in the industry, it's the people you work with. It's
Yes,
not
sir.
necessarily the books I'm on. It's the people I get to work with, and
That's
that's
beautiful.
the greatest thing in the world for me because it's actually kind of a smaller community than people think it is.
Okay.
We all know each other in a different way
Yeah,
than
how
other
many
people.
comic book artists are there in the whole world?
Right.
Yeah.
And
A couple of thousand,
Right.
3,000.
That makes
I don't know.
sense.
Just,
And I mean, a lot of it is so solitary too. You sit in your room writing, drawing these things. So
Yeah.
when you can get together and be in sync with somebody, spend time with them,
Yeah.
there's nothing better than
You
that.
you have a level of empathy for each other and understanding that
Well, I don't go
outside.
that far.
I mean, on the same wavelength,
No, but you're absolutely right. Yeah.
But I can tell you, we all are great lovers of
You can
traditional
stop right there.
of traditional comics from yesteryear and all that stuff. I mean, the whole craftsmanship based. I could go digital anytime, but
Yeah.
I just can't do it because the craftsmanship that's involved in all of it.
Oh, yeah.
The writing to the penciling to the inking and everything like that. It's just such that the history of comics, we're just being a part of that is just incredible.
Well, I was telling Guy this last night. Like, it's weird. I could spend a quarter on a comic that Sal was involved in 40 years ago, and it still looms large in my life. And so for that little bit of money, you have this like just lasting good feelings and good memories, and just sort of this thing that means way more to you than what you paid for it. And that's hard to find.
That's what matters.
Yeah, and that all it proves is that these guys need help very badly.
We all need a little help, you know?
I could say that some of my favorite, there was 2 issues. Chris, what were the numbers with the Machine Man in there?
Oh, Machine Man was
The
awesome.
Hulk versus Machine Man.
You're not going to put me on the spot.
I can't remember the numbers. Yeah. Those books for me. I had when I saw Hulk fighting Machine Man by this guy, I just went out of my mind.
I
just went out of my
I
mind.
remember my address, but I remember that.
Yeah.
I went out of my mind doing it.
If you could have sat for 5 minutes, I was ecstatic. So this is.
Well, I'm more than happy to do that. I hope I gave you something.
Yeah, you gave me some priceless everything.
Some wisecracking too.
Yeah.
Right?
Yes, sir. You're one of a kind. I really appreciate it.
Oh, well,
thank you so
You're
much.
very kind to say
Just,
that.
yeah, on
Oh,
camera,
I don't
like,
know what kind I am.
I mean, if we can just say, like, the work that this man has done, like, he was just doing the job, but it means so much more to us than we can probably even express.
We can't even.
So thank you.
You know what?
For
Yeah,
everything you've
thanks,
given
Sal.
us.
I appreciate
we
that.
Yeah.
love you, and thank you so much for everything. And it's good that Chris brought that up, because privately we might do that, but it is good to say it
Yes,
so
sir.
that people could see how much Chris and I
The sincerity.
just
Yeah.
Isn't that
Yeah.
nice? Isn't that
we just I
made-
wouldn't have
You made
ever
a mark.
done what I did
You made a hell
without
of a
Sal.
mark.
Yeah.
I may start crying any minute.
Oh man.
It really
I'm gonna
does.
get
mean a lot.
I'm gonna get that on camera and blackmail him.
Thank you.
Thank you. It's been an honor, gentlemen. Thank you. Appreciate it.
Pleasure, Sal.
Thank you
Oh,
so
thank
much.
you so much.
I appreciate
Yeah,
it.
thanks,
Let's
man.
get on camera.
Oh,
real
yeah,
quick
yeah.
so we could end
Oh
it.
yeah, here we go.
Okay. Rise up and geek on.
Hey Joe, I'm here with your son. I'm not coming home.
Actually, I've been faking it all these years. I really didn't do this. See, this guy's a real artist. If he asked me to draw something, I wouldn't know what to do.